Your homework is to memorize this and write it 15 times.
Welcome to the coolest, hippest half hour of fun on TV. This is Brain Stew with Jennifer Pulley.
This week, Brain Stew gets you all fired up for fire. Learn how firefighters are trained and how they fight fires. Can technology help firefighters when they enter a burning building? Brain Stew finds out. Plus, we walk through something that looks like a plane, only has one wing, and can help firefighters do their job even better. Huh? Get comfy. Brain Stew is next. Hi, you guys. I'm Jennifer Pulley, and welcome to Brain Stew. Can you guess where I am?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm in the platform of an aerial ladder truck. This is ladder number 8. Ladder 8. And today, Brain Stew is investigating fire and the people who fight it. Firefighters. This is Kurt here. We'll meet him later. But before we talk about firefighters, let's think about fire. I don't know about you, but whenever I hear the word fire, I immediately think stop, drop, and roll. I mean it, ever since elementary school. That's when I learned about fire and fire safety. I also learned in the 4th grade that fire loves oxygen. Like us, fire needs oxygen in order to survive. Oxygen plays a very important part in the life of a fire. Oh, and one more thing. I learned how important it is to have working smoke detectors in your house. See, here's mine. Fairly close to the kitchen. And I check the batteries every single month. And I change the batteries every 6 months. Here's an easy way to remember it. Think about daylight savings time. When you set your clocks ahead, change your batteries in your smoke detector. When you set your clocks back, change them again. Oh, it's working.
How is fire created?
Well, very basically, fire is created by the rapid combination of oxygen with other materials. Once created, fire gives off heat and light. Now, in order for fire to exist, 3 things must be present. Number 1, fuel, a burnable substance. Things like wood, plastic, gasoline, and humans. Yes, even us, we are a burnable substance. Number 2, you need a temperature high enough to cause burning. Get this, temperatures within a burning building may exceed 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. And number 3, enough oxygen, usually provided by the air, to cause a fire to burn.
What causes fire?
Things like volcanoes and trees set on fire by lightning are ways that nature can cause a fire. Humans can cause fire too, either on purpose, like for heat, or by accident. Here's the deal. Once fire is created, either by us or by nature, you have to know how to control it. If you don't, fire can cause a lot of damage and destruction. That's why we have firefighters, men and women who are trained to control or fight fires. Of course, that's not all they do. In fact, that's just the beginning.
How do you become a firefighter?
The first thing you need to do to be successful in anything you do is get a good education. So you need to finish high school, maybe take some college courses somewhere along the line, and then get into a fire school where you learn the basics of firefighting.
Okay, Kurt, so you're at a fire, and you are a firefighter.
What is a firefighter's main job at a fire?
The very first thing we have to do as a fire department, as an organization, is to be safe. We can't do our jobs and help anybody if we're not safe. So we maintain safety of ourselves first, and then we try and help anybody that's trapped in a fire. Then we locate the fire, we put the fire out, protect property, make sure the fire doesn't spread, things like that. We're trying to put the fire out by removing one or more of the elements of the fire. We would remove or shut off a fuel supply. We could exclude oxygen by smothering the fuel, and we could also cool it down by using water.
What is combustion?
Combustion is a form of oxidation. And oxidation occurs in a very explosive form, like a bullet going off.
Yep.
It could be, or a very slow form of oxidation would be rust. Everybody's seen rust, so rust is actually a form of oxidation, a chemical process.
And a rapid form of combustion would be fire. Then,
would be fire, accompanied by heat and light.
What do firefighters wear when they go into burning buildings?
The first thing we have is we start with steel-toe boots so that we're safe down on our feet. Then we have turnout pants on. All right. We also wear turnout coats. A lot of your friends out there might wear coats to protect them from the cool or the wet, and we wear coats to protect us from the heat. And inside this has a vapor barrier that allows us to stay dry.
Wow.
Yeah, and also protects us from the heat. Everything burns, Okay, this just gives us a little bit more time inside of a burning building so that we might find somebody and help them out.
Why are you wearing suspenders? Those are kind of cool.
Suspenders?
Yeah.
Keep our pants up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. We also wear a Nomex hood, and this hood goes over top of our heads and over top of our mask and protects our ears and our hair from burning. So we have to have a Nomex hood. Also, we wear helmets. Okay. Again, we have got to be totally safe. We can't do our job, so we got to make sure all of our gear is top of the line. We have it armed properly so that we can help people. So we also wear a helmet to protect our head. Okay. We also wear a breathing apparatus. All your friends probably know that when a fire burns, it gives off what? It gives off smoke and heat, right? Yeah. And we can't breathe that. So we have to take an apparatus in with us that has good, clean air inside of it to breathe while we're inside of a fire, so we can help people.
Is that just regular air, like
That's
we
just
breathe?
regular air, like you're breathing right now.
Yeah, because don't a lot of people die of smoke inhalation?
More
right?
people die from smoke inhalation than any other cause in a fire. So we have a breathing apparatus.
Is that heavy?
Not too heavy. You want to feel it?
Yeah, man.
Let's put it on there.
All right.
All right. About 40 pounds.
Now, you're not just, I mean, plus you got the hose or the...
Hose, tools, everything else, right. So about 40 pounds.
All right, that's enough.
Okay? We'll take it off.
Gosh.
We'll sign you up yet.
Okay.
to get air from our breathing apparatus, we also have to have a face piece. We have a mask that we wear also.
Wow.
And this allows us to get the air from the breathing apparatus. The bad thing about it is it cuts down our vision sometimes. So we have to be very safe. Yes, we have to be very, very safe when we use these and train a lot with these. Fire service involves a lot of training. We have to wear gloves.
And these are also, they will burn, but they just protect your hands.
They're thicker and they're kind of heavy and protect us from heat.
Look at that, they're not very flexible, they're really hard.
They're kind of stiff. These are a little bit old, but they're very broken in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, all the gear that you guys have to wear.
You have to be safe.
What tools do firefighters use?
Some basic tools we use in the fire service are forcible entry tools. And we have a couple different axes here.
Oh yeah, I see firefighters using that all the time.
This is called a flathead axe because it has a flat head right here and it's used as a striking tool also. We also have a pick head axe, which has a pick or a pike right here. And that's used for different purposes on a fire ground. So two different kinds of axes that we'll use. Also, probably one of our handiest tools and the firefighter's most favorite tool is a Halligan bar. This is a forcible entry tool. It has 3 different striking surfaces on it, and it's just used for a multitude of different things on a fire ground. It's a very, very important tool to us.
I mean, that'll open doors and do things?
Open doors, open windows, open walls, open roofs, anything that you want open. If the operator is safe and knows what he's doing and has had proper training, he can get into anything with a Halligan bar.
Wow.
In the old days, or not too very long ago, we used to rely solely on axes to ventilate a house. We talked about the smoke, and when a fire is burning, it gives off smoke and heat, and then we have to let the smoke and heat out of the house so that we can do our job and find the fire and rescue people. And we used to use axes to cut holes in roofs to ventilate, let the smoke and heat out. Now, probably the last 5 or 7 years, we started to use chainsaws to do that.
Cool.
Why? Because it's quicker and gets us off of the roof faster so that we're safer. Okay?
There you go, there's a safety thing.
Safety thing all the time.
Okay, Kurt, besides the axes, the Halligan bar, the chainsaw,
what's the most important tool a firefighter uses?
In the fire service is probably water.
Really?
Water is very, very cheap, it's abundant, and it's easy to store.
How much water can this fire truck hold?
In this fire truck right here, we have 500 gallons of water stored in this fire truck. That's why it's called a pumper. This truck has a 1,500 gallon a minute pump in it. They can pump 1,500 gallons of water a minute. So if you picture a 1 gallon milk jug, that's 1,500 of those coming out of this truck every minute. It's capable of doing it.
Whoa!
You asked about education, and firefighters need to know math problems and need to be very, very smart to figure out hydraulic calculations, to make sure everybody's safe on a fire ground, to make sure the right amount of water is flowing through our hoses all the time. These hard sleeves right here are capable of drafting water out of a swimming pool, out of a lake, or out of a pond in case we don't have water around. So we can use these hard sleeves to actually draw water out of a water source to help us fight fire.
Okay, Kurt, so mostly you guys use water when fighting fires.
What kind of fire cannot be put out with water?
It's a Class B type fire, and to fight Class B type fires, its chemical makeup is not suited for water. So we have to use a firefighting foam to fight Class B fires. And its chemical properties don't allow us to use water, so we have to use a firefighting foam.
How do fire hydrants work?
Under the ground, city water mains run, and hydrants are tapped into those city water mains. And if we rotate this nut on top of the bonnet here, water comes out of the fire hydrant.
Like this?
Yeah, if you want to do
keep
that, go ahead
going.
and turn it on.
All right.
Show everybody.
Look out! Now how do I turn it off?
Go the other way.
Oh, that's so cool.
As we talked about earlier, you know, water is the firefighter's lifeline. We've got to have water to put fires out.
Sure.
And so that we rely on our fire hydrants for our lives and to protect property. And it's very, very bad when somebody tampers with a fire hydrant. We always want to stress to kids that never play with a fire hydrant. Or if they see somebody doing it, let a grown-up know.
Sure.
To help us out.
Sure, and you guys can just attach the hose from the...
Right. When we go to a fire, we have a lot of hose on the back of a fire truck, and we will wrap a fire hydrant and we'll drive to the fire scene, and then somebody else will come along, connect the hose to the fire hydrant, connect to the other end to the fire truck. We'll get a signal or a radio call. The individual on the hydrant will turn the hydrant on, and then the fire truck gets water, and then we can go and safely put a fire out.
Okay, Kurt, tell me about fire trucks. How do they help you do your job better?
The fire truck carries all the equipment that we need to do our job and do it safely. And on a fire truck, we talked a little bit about hose, and this is one of the fire hoses that it carries, and this is a nozzle, kind of like you find at home, only a whole lot bigger. Don't you think?
Sure.
Pretty good size.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about the fire hydrant and how we lay a line from a fire hydrant to a fire scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this yellow 5-inch hose here is what we would use to wrap a fire hydrant and then drive to the fire scene. Capable of flowing about 2,000 gallons a minute.
Wow.
It's kind of like having a city water main up on top of the road for us.
That's so cool.
That's how much water it carries. And then on this side, we have some different hose sizes and different hose loads that we might use. And this is 2.5-inch hose that we could use for making up different lines or setting up nozzles. Just a lot of different things on a fire ground we would use different hoses for. This is a fire hose. This is a 2.5-inch line. This is a smooth bore nozzle. Okay, this is a smooth bore nozzle. A little bit bigger than the 1.5 inch we have over here.
Yep.
This is a fog nozzle and makes a wide fog stream. This makes like a solid stream of water.
Does this truck have a ladder?
This truck has 2 ladders. Where? Right on this side. These are called ground ladders because we carry them to a fire scene. This is has a 24-foot extension ladder which can reach a two-bedroom house. It also has a 14-foot roof ladder. Okay, and it also carries a 10-foot folding attic ladder that we can use to get up into small, tight spaces in somebody's attic. Do it. There you go. 10 foot high, folds up so that we can be easy on our customers' walls and everything. We don't hit walls, we don't hit pictures because we treat everybody's home and property like it was our own. You just got to watch your fingers.
Oh yeah, be careful.
That's why we have gloves on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't want to pinch them. Okay guys, when Brain Stew returns, we'll find out how technology is helping firefighters like Kurt here to do his job. Hey, need something to do during the break? Check out this brain strain. I'm fighting fires. And we're back. Hey, we're talking fire on this week's show. You know, technology is all around us today. I mean, it's everywhere. We have so many cool gadgets that make our jobs and our lives easier.
How is technology helping firefighters?
Technology is changing fast and the fire service is trying very hard to keep up with it. This is called an iris cam, and this is a heat sensing unit that allows firefighters to actually see through the smoke.
What?
Yeah, this is a lens right here that the firefighter looks into. This is a camera that the firefighter sees through smoke with, and this camera sends images to the lens here. With this unit, this is the central processing unit, similar to that you have at home on your computer. Yeah. It allows firefighters to see right through the smoke. It picks up heat images, heat signals. Everything gives off heat. So a fire will appear to be very, very white with the iris cam, or even warm bodies, enabling us to be safe and also rescue victims faster.
So you guys, does everybody have one of these iris cams?
No, they're very expensive,
Yep.
but one day, hopefully, technology will improve even more, and we can have an iris cam for every firefighter and be that much safer and be able to do our job that much quicker.
Technology rules. All right, Kurt, thank you so much for your time and all your information about fire safety and firefighters and
Absolutely.
all that information.
Be safe, and Brain Stew can come back anytime.
We will. We'll be back.
Good.
I'm getting in that academy.
Good.
Hey, you. what looks like an airplane but can't fly, has only one wing, and is used to train firefighters fight fire on a runway?
That me.
Well, here it is. Ta-da! This is a mobile aircraft rescue firefighting trainer.
Okay, but how does it help firefighters?
Well, what it is, it's a training unit that's set up, and we run it with propane fuel. So what we can do is we can put smoke in this or fires in this on the wheels, the brakes, the cockpit, the cabin, the baggage area, anywhere in the plane, so firefighters can train how to respond to airplanes that have an emergency on board, like a fire.
Wow, so you'll actually create a fire inside of this aircraft, or
Sure.
inside of this trainer.
Sure, we can do it over and over and over again.
Okay, and I see the engine looks a little burned on the end there.
Sure.
What's that for?
Well, what we can do is we can set that up with a low wing like you see there, or we can put the wing up high and we set the engine on fire. So just like a jet engine or a propeller engine, we can set that on fire time and time again. A lot of times planes have emergencies where the wheels lock up or the brakes catch on fire, and firefighters have to put those out. So we can set those on fire, we can smoke them up, and if the firefighters approach them in the wrong direction, a very loud noise cannon goes off to warn them that they've approached from the wrong direction and they're in a danger zone.
Okay, so safety is a big concern.
Major concern. We always want to look out for the safety of the firefighters.
Now, is this airplane only going to train firefighters on one kind of aircraft?
No, and that's the good thing about it. As I said, we can move the wing up or down. We can use a propeller type engine, or we can configure it in a jet mode. We also have a breakout at the top, if you'll see up there, that the firefighters can train on cutting into the airplane from the top. So that skin that we called it up there, we just replace that time and time again. They can cut it, we throw it away, or we recycle it, and then we put another one up there.
Does this trainer have a cockpit?
Well, the cockpit is really kind of unique. We have it set up in two ways. On the right side, it's set up like a military type aircraft with an ejection seat, which certainly doesn't exist in a commercial airplane. And then on the left side, we have commercial airplane seat, like you would have a pilot of a commercial airline.
Troy, what's this big black thing for?
Oh, this is another element of the training. Firefighters have to go through required training every year. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Fire Protection Association require certain things to be done. This is a 1,300 square foot pad which simulates a flammable liquids fire, like jet fuel or gasoline or oil. You can light it up in phases or stages or in certain grids. And what we do is we pipe liquid propane into this and set it on fire. So it's much better for the environment to burn the propane gas rather than burn the fossil fuels.
Sure, sure. And the firefighters are safe. They can go in here and fight and simulate what it would be like to fight a fire.
While they're doing their evolutions down here or on any of these trainers, the operator is always in the training booth watching the training ground to make sure everybody's safe. And if anything ever happens, anybody on the fire ground or on the training ground can hit a switch to turn everything off and make everything go right back to a safety zone. Yeah,
I saw this cool like little bar looking thing and it had all these different, I want to just push all the buttons, but I know I can't do that. What's that for?
Well, anytime they're doing any evolution inside the airplane itself, the instructor holds that in his or her hand. And so they control what's going on inside the trainer. And at every exit, every door, there's an emergency stop button that anybody any student or any instructor can hit, which immediately shuts everything down, ventilates the training unit, and returns it to a safe condition.
Again, there's that safety again. That's so good that you got that's your first priority is making sure everybody's safe. So really you can kind of say, well, we want to simulate a wheel blowing up, and they can push a button and then they can simulate that. Is that how it goes?
Basically, that's how it goes. We want to simulate a wheel on fire, we do that. A jet engine fire, a prop engine fire, smoke in a battery compartment, smoke in a luggage compartment, whatever we want to do.
And that's either done from this booth right here?
Correct.
Or from inside the trainer itself?
There's a lot of redundancy because, again, safety is our utmost concern.
I mean, the Fort Pickett Fire Department's been doing wonderful jobs out here today. We're working them pretty hard.
And they've been helping us a lot. We sure do appreciate their help.
They're doing a good job. How cool is this? Firefighters can actually practice fighting fires before they happen. The future of firefighting is so exciting. With the help of technology like the Iris Cam and this mobile aircraft rescue firefighting trainer, firefighters can continue to save more lives. Hey, where are you going? Brain Stew will be right back with this week's experiment and more information on fire. Do you think your big brain can hold it all? We'll be back in a second.
How is a foam that firefighters use to put out fires like the detergent we use at home? Let's find out. Here's what you need: a toothpick, a cup, a bowl, detergent, and black pepper. Oh yeah, and you need some water. Are you with me so far? Here's the procedure. Step 1, sprinkle the pepper over the surface of the water. Step 2, place a few drops of detergent into the cup. Step 3, dip the end of the toothpick into the detergent. Step 4, dip the wet end of the toothpick into the center of the pepper. Whoa! Did you see those results? The pepper moved to the side of the bowl. Why did this happen? When the water is clean, the surface water molecules pull on the pepper specks with equal force in all directions. When detergent is placed in the water, it weakens the attractions between the molecules in the center and causes the pepper to move to the outside of the bowl. Firefighters use foam to put out some types of fires. The foam is like the detergent because it breaks the attraction between the water molecules. The foam makes the water molecules weaker so it is able to penetrate deep-seated fires.
I'm about to truck out of here on the world's only natural gas-powered monster fire truck. But before I do, why don't you pick up a pen and write me? I should see smoke coming off that pen. Here's my address. I want to thank all the firefighters that help keep us safe from fire. You know, guys, fire prevention really starts with us, using our brains and knowing what to do around fire. Until next week, keep that big brain of yours stewing, because there's always something new to learn, and that big brain of yours, it's not too full yet. I'll see ya. Get this, temperatures within a burning building may exceed temperatures 50... Again, I want to thank all the firefighters that help us. Yeah.
How much?
Get this, temperatures within a burning building can reach as high as 100 years.
Water cannot be put out with fire. Cannot be put out with water. Right. Okay.
Step 3, tip, 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 tip.
What kind?
Step 3, dip the end of the... Oh. These are hard lines.